Hey guys, it's episode number 2 of Grind with TTP. The focus today is going to be friendship and how you can use that to your advantage as a new player. I apologize for the delay between videos. My plan is to get one up every other day or so, but Double Dust came, and me and Bill always say we're players before we're content creators, so you can't let Double Dust pass and not, do it. So this is on November 1st still. This is the first day I use the account. I'm going to go through the rest of my trip here and also talk about friendship for the whole time. But before we get into that, let me kind of show you where I think you should look for friendship. This is a really cool site. This is the Pokemon Go Trades subreddit. And I gotta say, if I was a rural player, even a suburban player who's kind of casual, a new player, this is a place I would go. So what you can find here is a list of tons of trainers from all over the world, saying where they're from and how often they're going to open gifts or send gifts or whatnot. So you can go on here and without actually interacting with a real life person, you can make a bunch of friends and have a bunch of people sending you gifts, be able to send gifts to some people. And gifts lead to experience, it leads to more items. When we get to level 20, 21, we're going to see there's a really big item drop off when you're no longer getting things from passing levels and you're always having the full bag. So we're going to have to find a way to refill. If you're blessed with Pokestops, you go there. But if not, this is really wonderful. And then the experience that you can get from friendship levels is massive and can pass levels for you on your own. All right, so I'm back to gameplay here. I got that Mischievous from a task. I'm going to keep that for a couple seconds from now after I catch a few more things when there's a good gap. I hit my 8 great throws, so that's going to help me progress in my tasks. Now I'm going to throw it as Houndour, and I don't know, I'm in the mood to throw it off his face, so let's do that. Boom. So that would have been a good throw if the circle was there and it was ready to attack him, but you can't hit him in the face when he's not attacking. So moving on, I think friendship is crazy important. When you're playing with people locally, the ability to get extra balls to catch the raid boss is a big deal. In addition, if you're, great, ultra, or best friends with someone, your Pokemon are doing more damage, which helps you earn more damage balls in the raid as well. I know the series is tailored towards the solo players and such, and that's a fine way to play, but there's so much value in, especially with raids, interacting with others. So if you have the option to go to a local Discord or you have like a Facebook group or something like that you can go to get your friends, do that instead. That's better than going to Pogo Trades. If you're truly independent and by yourself, the Pokemon Go Trades really makes a bunch of sense. The other really nice thing is if you're making friends locally, you got people you can trade with. As you get later in the game, there's a huge benefit to trading for rerolling. So what you do is you get a Eevee that may not be very good and trade it with someone else who also got an Eevee that's not very good. And then when you trade them, there's a chance that they may become lucky or very good. So that's something you can do, and it's something a lot of trainers do to maximize what they have. I think as a newer trainer, you almost want to use the fact that you're a newer trainer to your advantage and pair up with people who, I don't want to say feel bad for you, but might feel bad for you because you miss things. So if you're going to give them a legendary that you raid with them, maybe they're not going to feel so bad giving you something like a Dragonite to help fill your decks. Maybe they have a Dragonite they don't need and they can send it over or something like that. So look for those kind of people if you have that option. If you are by yourself and solo, then obviously none of this matters and trading doesn't really matter as much. You're just getting friends for experience. On this account, I'm not going to get friends for experience, I don't think. I reserve the right to change that later on, but at this point, I think I want to get stuck in the mid-20s and really show you guys what you can be capable of and what kind of things you can do without that. I think some of the friendship experience is empty experience. Oh, another error in a game, what are the odds? I think that you don't want to gain too much empty experience. I mean, maybe you want to, I don't know. If you're gaining experience just for experience sake, yes, you're passing levels, but there comes a point where that's really not doing anything for you because the key thing at this point in the game is Stardust, right? And you're trying to gain Stardust at level 7 so you can use it when you're level 30 or level 25. Like, you're not aiming to use Stardust now, but you want to accumulate it now. So there's so many people that I see at raids who became level 40 just by raiding a lot and spending money on raids. And then when they're battling, they're just using the level 20 Pokemon they got from raids and not really doing the damage. But what we're going to do is we're going to find some low-cost, efficient Pokemon and power up some of those and use our resources there instead. And we may be a level 25 player, but we're going to be more powerful than some of the level 40 players who are going around. So that's kind of the vision I have and what I'm doing here. What I think you should be doing as well. The advantage of empty experience is that if you can accelerate your way to level 30, that's a really magic place, because once you hit there, that's the biggest Pokemon you can catch in the wild, right? So whether you're level 30 or whether you're level 40, the biggest you can catch is a level 30. Or with Weather Boost, the biggest you can catch is a level 35. Even when you're level 30, you can catch a level 35 Pokemon. What we're going to aim to do is use nests to catch weather boosted Pokemon that are high level. So we don't have to waste our Stardust on them. We can just use some candy, and that's going to give us some good counters. So if you want to accelerate that process and get a little faster, then yeah, maybe the empty experience is good. The 50,000 experience or 100,000 with a lucky egg that you can get from becoming ultra friends with someone can really help you on your way. I mean, 100,000 goes a long way towards passing some of these early levels. Catching a Duskull here, working my way through the quests again. You'll notice at this point I've started burying a lot more. I'm throwing the nabs and everything just because I have the nabs. And the idea is I got to feed 108 berries to advance in that quest, so I want to get rid of them. Plus, at low levels like this, you're passing levels so quickly that your bag's going to be full constantly. So that's that. I debate using some berries here to give myself Stardust, but the reality is at this exact moment, I'm better off using those berries to kind of accelerate my way through. I made a mistake earlier, I think, when I put a 10k on. I think I should have probably hatched quicker eggs, just because I think it makes more sense to advance through the Mew quest faster, and by doing something that required me to hatch a 10k egg instead of a smaller egg, it does slow me down a little bit. The reason to move through the Mew quest is because you can't get the Celebi quest until you've gotten, up to a certain point of the Mew quest. We'll get there relatively soon. It's not that much of a difference, but those are little mistakes that I think I can improve upon and do better with. You'll notice that I'm not using incense right now, and to some extent I don't have to. There's a decent amount of spawns at this park, so there's not really a need to have more coming constantly. But at the same time, I think I'm going to try to save incense for the most part until I'm higher level. I think that that's the place where it's really going to shine. I'm also going to save it for when I do play during community days to make sure I can get a couple extra community day spawns. The way I'm going to handle community day on this account is I'm going to play for about half an hour. I figure that the average casual player can probably play for a little bit, whether it's, while running errands or at their house or whatever it may be. So I'm going to kind of show what I would do in 30-minute periods on community day. That video actually is recorded, so it'll be coming out relatively soon. I have a couple days to catch up to it in real life. So we'll get there. Continuing to move through, there's just not so much exciting at this point. We're going through and trying to catch stuff, and the goal is, as often as we can, we always want to be catching something. It's going to get us through our quest, it's going to get us experience, it's going to get us Pokemon, it's going to get us candy, and most importantly, it's getting us Stardust. You'll notice that I'm kind of, when I was transferring before, I'm kind of hoarding executes. At the time, live, I actually, there's a part of this walking course where there's not really any spawns, so it was about a minute and a half or 2 minutes of nothing happening in-game, so I was appraising all my executes. And that was a waste of time. The reality is, if I had gotten a high IV execute at this point, there's no reason to power it up. They're all super low level. We have Sunny Boost, so we're looking at something that's less than level 10 to 12-ish. But, level 8, moving on up. But yeah, in general, if it was a perfect, maybe you make an argument for it. But even so, we're going to be catching level 35 or level 30 executes at some point, And that's who we're going to use our candy on to evolve. And then we're just going to power up to breakpoints. We're not going to have to go all the way up to max it. And if you're not going for world records and you're not doing Poké Draft, IV doesn't matter that much. Given the choice, you obviously would rather have a higher IV. And, we're going to talk about breakpoints later on and how attack IV really matters for hitting certain breakpoints. But for the most part, it's not going to be an issue for us. It's going to be a very niche situation where it's going to matter. So we're not going to prioritize IVs. All right, so I just cut off the part there where I was doing all the execute searching, and I've kind of walked across the park at this point. You'll notice I have a few things on my nearby that I don't have yet, so it's important to grab those. That extra experience boost you get from getting something new for the first time is great. It helps move us through levels. I don't know if I cut it or if I kept it in. The Pikachu that's nearby is at a church across the street, and I decided not to walk over for it. I don't think it was worth the time. I'll catch plenty of Pikachus. This one has a witch hat on. Pikachu always seems to have a hat on. But yeah, yep, this is me doing that now. So just kind of see what's nearby, what I don't have, what I can get. It actually takes me a little while to get a Weedle, so I'm about a week and a half ahead of where I am in this video in real life, and it does take me a long time. So now I'm catching this Poochyena, and at the beginning of the first video, you may have noticed I had 2 Poochyena quests, and I deleted one because I didn't think I'd get 5 quickly enough. So there actually is my 5th Pooch. So had I kept 2 quests instead of 1, there would have been a very long time of me holding on to quests and not doing other quests. So that helped me get some of those like transfer Pokemon and kept moving through stuff. I end up with one less Sneasel out of it, but that's okay. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Sneasel's awesome. It's going to get Weavile, which is a great Pokemon, but again, it's a matter of quantity right now over quality at this point in the early game. It's funny, watching this video again and seeing all these Driftlooms. I have just not seen them since then. I don't think I've seen a single one since this video shoot, actually. This is as this event was going to be ending. So I didn't play again after this, I don't believe, with any of my accounts. So it's fun to see this. You'll notice I'm getting all kind of badges here. We're going to keep an eye on our badges because as you get higher badges at plus 10, at 50, and at 200 catches for each type, it makes it easier to catch the other types, right? So if you get your Dark badge, it increases the percentage to catch those. And that's really going to matter, especially when we're catching raid bosses that have like a much lower percentage. We really want to maximize that. And maybe to the point where we may go to a nest specifically to get a Steel badge or an Electric badge, depending if we need it to catch a boss or a certain Pokemon we're working on. So I'm going through these quests. At level 9, I do have a Lucky Egg, so you could argue that it may have made more sense to wait to claim the quests until I crack the egg, and you're probably right. I think I'm trying to hit, well, I guess I don't have the egg yet, I'll have it pretty soon. I'm trying to hit level 9 before I get in the car, so that's, I'm rushing a little bit, but to be more efficient, it would probably have made sense to save some of these quests. If I'm not clearing the whole quest, to save the experience for when I actually am getting the double XP out of it. Again, we're saving that Spendo. We'll grab it later. It'll still be there. That's the Poochyena quest I talked about earlier that I didn't do. I have it here, but the reality is this is the end of this event, so I'm not going to get to finish it, most likely. I think I'm fine deleting it. I have not deleted it yet, but I do at some point. Again, spinning these gems, super important. Get that bonus for the first spin. Get that XP. We're walking towards the car now. Here's Drifloon. I'm going to throw at it. So this, after this video, I took a couple-day rest. This was the first. I think I didn't play again until the 4th. And my next trip is going to be to a Growlithe nest. So that's going to be nice and exciting. I'm going through and deleting some stuff here. Again, other than the task rewards, I probably should have just deleted all of it. And that's pretty much what I do. A couple more spawns here that I wasn't expecting. Again, we like this weather boost. We get a little bit of extra Stardust out of it. And then once we get Pinapps, we can actually consider Pinapping C-Dot. Shiftry is not bad, and that's one of those evolved grass types we're going to need to advance in our Celebi quest. Execute gets hit here, and I was really happy when I saw the Skiploom here. This was an unexpected surprise, so I decided to... I was actually just about to turn it off and then saw it and got happy, so we're going to throw at it, and then that's going to end episode 2. Episode 3 should be out very, very soon. I have it all recorded. I just got to do a few things with the audio, and it should be ready to go. So going forward, expect something every other day, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm having a lot of fun. Appreciate the feedback. If you like what you saw, let me know about it, and definitely subscribe. Thanks, guys.